Now we've got our transitions and our audio mixer. Now we'll cover these in more detail as we go through, and we can control our different sources and scenes down the bottom here. And this is really where a lot of the customization and setup and stuff comes into play. But the first thing we want to do is get everything set up. So we want to come down here to settings. Now, because OBS is a pretty advanced tool, there's a lot in here. I'm going to run you through the fundamentals, the things that you need to configure up. But I would suggest for those of you, especially if you're feeling a little bit more advanced or you want to really geek out with this stuff, I would suggest that you access to in here. And then at some point you can start to experiment with those things. But the first thing we want to do in here is come over to video and let's set up our project size here, which they call it here our canvas size. So right now I'm set to 3840 by 2160, so 4K. And it's saying here that this is a 16:9, so widescreen aspect ratio. We can customize this up. So if we wanted to switch from 4K to 1080, and you can see that we've still kept that aspect ratio here of 16:9. If we wanted to instead go live in portrait or record a portrait video, we could flip this. So we could go 1080 by 1920. And we've now got 9:16 as our aspect ratio, so portrait. But I'm going to switch this back here to widescreen. And so we've got our base canvas resolution, which is the actual project file here that we're going to be working with essentially. And then we've got our output, so the quality that we're going to be live streaming or recording, and they don't need to match. You could do a 4K resolution, higher quality base canvas here, and you could still choose to live stream at a lower quality. Personally, I like to keep the two the same wherever possible. So I'm going to set this here to 1920, less processing done on the computer because everything matches. We then get to choose our frame rate. The default here is 30 frames per second. If you need a higher resolution, if you're doing a gaming video or something like that, then you could bump this up to 60 frames per second. Or if you need a specific frame rate to match maybe other cameras and things that you're using, you've got some popular options in here, 24, 25, 29.97. But again, the default here is 30, so that's where I'm going to leave it. Once we've picked our canvas or project resolution and the output that we're going to be recording or live streaming at, then now we're going to choose the quality of that. So work out what the best bit rate is for the platform you're going to be streaming to. But as a general rule, the higher the bit rate, the better the quality. There is a point of diminishing returns, but this is also going to be capped by your internet speed as well. So given that I've got decent internet here, I'm going to bump this up. I would recommend something like 5,000 or 5 megabits, but obviously we can go much, much higher as well. The default settings here for a lot of this stuff is going to be great for most people, again, unless you want to geek out or are you after something specific. So if you are going to be live streaming and you want really high quality music, then you can obviously bump up the audio bit rate or the quality of the audio here too. Moving down here under recording though, this is where we can choose where our our file is going to be saved, our video recording. We can then customize up the quality. So we're going to keep it the same as what we've just set for streaming up here. If you're going to be streaming though, this is where we can come over here to stream and we can select where it is we're going to be live streaming to, and obviously create that connection to be able to go live. So we can see here the default for us here is YouTube RTMPS. But you've also got things like Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and a lot of others. If we hit show, a big list, there's lots of different supported places, or we can choose custom settings here to broadcast to other places as well. But in this case here, I'm going to choose YouTube, and then we can just click here to connect our account. It'll then prompt us to sign in with our YouTube channel. And when that's done, you can see that we've linked it here to a test channel I have. Justin's really super awesome channel. Great name. That's ready for live streaming. Once you're done then, you want to hit OK. Now, because I have picked YouTube Live here, we can see we now get this pop-up here where once we go live, we'll see our YouTube chat. It says here, once broadcast has been created, your live chat will appear here and private broadcasts aren't supported. So we've got the chat here that's popped up and we can pick this up and we can move it around. We can dock it here if we'd like, so that we've got a smaller area here for our chat. But then we're also down the bottom here, below this now, was our YouTube Live control panel. So we can sign into our YouTube channel here too in this window, and we can monitor our live stream